Welcome and thank you for listening to the Sales Maven Show. I'm your host, Nikki Rausch, your own personal sales maven, here to offer you tips, strategies, and techniques to master your sales conversation. Today is one of our Mastering Excellence series. So, this comes from my background in neurolinguistic programming, where we learn that there is a structure to excellence. And when you can understand how somebody's structure is working for them to get some exceptional result in some area of their life or business, you can implement that structure into your life and or business so that you can achieve exceptional results for you as well. So, let me tell you about today's guest and the topic that we're going to talk about. I am going to welcome to the show Danielle Baily, and we're going to be talking about trusting yourself to make useful decisions. This is going to be good. I'm so excited for this conversation. Now, here's a little bit about Danielle. First and foremost, is she is an accomplished efficiency and implementation consultant who empowers business owners to achieve their goals and create their ideal future. A Lean Six Sigma black belt with a master's in human relations, she specializes in effective communication and process improvement. Danielle is also a double certified as a consulting hypnotist, helping clients reduce stress, break habits, and create lasting change. Through consulting, training, speaking, and hypnosis, she equips clients with practical tools and strategies to achieve sustainable growth and positive change. Danielle, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Nikki. I appreciate it.
I'm so excited to have this conversation. I want to give a shout out to the way that we got connected, which is through one of the people who I absolutely adore is Faith Ann. She made this connection for us. You guys know each other through networking, is that right?
We do. We originally met through networking, and then she
Okay.
became one of my clients.
Awesome. She's amazing. I absolutely love her and have really enjoyed our conversation of getting to know you as well. So, so happy to have you here. Will you tell everybody a little bit outside of just your bio, like who are you and how do you show up in the world?
Mm, goodness gracious. Okay, so I am forever a high performer. And so everything I do at an extensively high level, which is also maybe not a good thing sometimes. Sometimes I get to take my own rest advice. And sometimes I get to take my own, oh, my body just decided that I'm not working today.
Mm,
Uh, so because I always show up, I always give, I love providing for others. I love serving others. It's just really, I always say, people are like, why are you here? Well, to help others reach their goals and create their ideal futures. And it means so much to me to be able to help others reach their future while I'm building my own and that of my family. And so it's just a really awesome opportunity to be able to serve people. But it literally is who I am every single day. I'll be at the grocery store and I'll hear something and I'll be like, hey, may I may I make a suggestion? They're like, who are you? It's like this, I don't know, it's this habit that I have that I just want to see people succeeding and happy and getting what they want out of life. And every every conversation I have, everything I do is really geared that way.
I love
So,
that. I love that.
yeah.
That's beautiful. So beautiful. Okay, so we're going to talk about trusting yourself to make useful decisions. But before we go there, one of the things I want to like kind of dig in with you a little bit is this idea of decisions can be very difficult for many of us.
Mhm,
Um, because it's the like what's the right decision,
mhm,
which
mhm.
you had said something to me about this when we were kind of talking about this as a topic. So when somebody says to you, me, I'm saying to you, Danielle, I just want to make the right decision, what do you say?
There's no such thing as a right decision.
Say more about that, please.
Yes. So this construct of right, wrong, good, bad, pro, con is something that we've been taught for ages. I mean, I remember my own mother when I had to make a decision. She's like, now make your T chart, right? So you get a piece of paper out and you draw a line down the middle, right?
Mhm.
You
Yep.
draw a line at the top and you write pro and you write con and then you list them out.
Got it.
One of the most ridiculous ways to make a dang decision in your entire life, because the interesting part about this right, wrong, pro, con, good, bad concept is that It assumes that if it's not one, it's the other.
Okay, mic drop right there. Yes.
Like, it assumes if it's not one, it's the other. Now, I mean, if we're talking about morals and ethics, okay, fine. Keep
Okay.
your right and wrong.
Yeah.
But we're not talking about morals and ethics necessarily. We're talking about do I choose this in my business, or do I choose to put my child in this school, or do I choose to go and buy this vehicle? Like, any decision is a decision, but we really have to look at it as less of a good bad, it has to be the other, because the issue remains what that does to, it's like a finality. So it's what
Mm-hmm.
it does to our brains. It's like
Yeah.
this is final.
Yes.
We can never change our minds. If I make a right, I want to make a right decision, because if I'm a good person, I'm going to make a good decision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now we've got our identity attached to it.
Yeah.
So now we can never change our mind, because what else are we taught? We're taught, you better keep your word.
Yeah.
Don't change your mind. Changing your mind is fickle. You need to do what you said you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, but this has put myself and people that I know into keeping us in very dangerous situations, keeping us in toxic situations,
Mm-hmm.
because we are so committed to keeping the identity of a good person who makes right decisions, who does all of this, and we can't change our mind, and we build up this big frustration over it. And then we just make a decision like, well, got to stick with that. Here we go.
Yeah.
Even
The
though we might know that we don't want to do it anymore, but we're literally emotionally attached to the idea that if it wasn't the right decision, it was wrong in the first place. No,
right.
because we make decisions. I mean, fully, we make decisions with the knowledge that we have at the time. That's it. So if the knowledge changes,
Yeah.
then what?
You might have to make a different decision.
But can't you? You made the right decision, right?
Yeah. But if your identity is wrapped in it, then what does that say about you? That you
Mm-hmm.
didn't have all the information to begin with, like you're lacking in some way, right?
Right? So insert the blame, shame, and guilt cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm blaming myself for making a bad decision with information that I didn't have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm feeling guilty about making a decision the way I didn't have all the information. And now I feel shame because I want to not stick to that.
Yes. So powerful. And when I think about this with, the listener in mind, and for myself too, because I'm here to learn, is this idea of relating this to our businesses and the pressure that many of us, and myself for sure, put on myself about, like, well, integrity is important, credibility is important to
What?
me. And so I'm thinking in this, and in NLP we call this digital thinking, yes no thinking, black white, true false, love hate, right, like right wrong, all of that. And when you put yourself in these places of, like, I've got to make the right decision, you are so limiting yourself. And wow, the pressure of that is unbelievable, of like, I got to make the right decision, and there's no changing my mind, because then, like you said, you're fickle, you're seen
Yep.
as flighty, you're, like, oh, your business was going in this direction and now it's going in this direction, like, can you get it together? You must not know what you're doing, or like,
Mhm.
yeah, all the judgment, the blame, shame, guilt that you brought up. Oh,
Always changing your mind. And we get
mhm.
this a lot as women,
Oh
right?
my gosh, yes. Yes.
Women are always changing their mind. Well, duh.
Because we have better information to make a
Uh-huh.
better decision or a more useful, I think is your
Useful.
term you use, useful decision.
I do
Just,
because I have a friend. We talk often, and she loops in these decision making cycles of good, bad, right, wrong, pro, con. And I have to. She'll call me. She'll be like, "Okay, talk me through that useful decision making thing again." And one of the things I always find that I tell her is, we are not writing the Ten Commandments. You can change your mind. Like, it's okay. Because
Mhm.
one of the things about decision making is if we sit down and we're like, okay, I have to make a decision. Here we go. Oh crap, what do I do?
Mhm.
Interestingly enough, you've made the decision in the first 7 minutes. You have made the decision in the first 7 minutes that this was presented to you. You spend the rest of the time justifying it to yourself and to other people.
Tell me more about this 7 minutes.
So your
What's this
brain,
come from? Okay.
yeah, I mean, you know that. Like, your brain is so powerful. You've
Mhm.
already made the decision. You have made that decision within the first 7 minutes. So your brain has gone in, done its little computer thing,
Mhm.
done its little, whatever it looks like for you. For me, it looks like dumping filing cabinets and like putting stuff back in and being like, do, 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 because my brain distracts itself. And so I dump filing cabinets to make decisions and then I put stuff back in. But statistically, you have made a decision in the first 7 minutes of the information being sent to you. The information's never going to change. It's not. Like, could you go find, purposely validating information? Sure. Could you find duplicated information? Sure. Could you ask the audience and then have other people tell you their opinions? Sure. But that does not change the fact that you've already made the decision and none of that actually matters. We're we're all wasting our time.
I hate wasting time. And so this 7 minute thing, I feel like you just, again, nice little mic drop there. Thank you so much. Like, Danielle, I'm such a fan of these things that you're sharing and of you and the way you're sharing them because I needed to hear this today. 7 minutes, I've already made my decision.
You've
All the
already
other
made
time is just, I'm just spinning my wheels.
Mm-hmm. You're justifying it to yourself or to others because here's how the
Hmm.
process of decision making works. We sit down, we have to make a decision. So then we attach our identity to the decision because we want to be a good person, so we better make a good decision. We want to be a good person, so we better make the right decision. And then we get frustrated. Here comes the amygdala firing through all the frustration,
Hmm.
gives you frustration because why can't I make this decision? You're just not listening, my loves. That's okay. So we're frustrated. So our identity is attacked. We're frustrated. We end up making decisions that are almost last minute,
Hmm.
like procrastination leads to motivation type decision
Hmm.
making. We just are putting it off, putting it off, putting it off, and now we have to. And then we just make the decision that we'd already decided. But what we're considering in our minds, the reason why we're asking the audience, we're taking all of this so seriously, is because our identity is attached. And it is because what will other people think of me?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Judgment. Yeah.
Right. Because we even talked about credibility and
Yes.
integrity, like
Hmm.
not even just judgment, credibility.
Yeah. That's a big one for me.
Does this change my credibility if I change this, or if I don't take someone into consideration
Hmm.
or some group of people?
Yeah. Does that make me a bad person? Does that make
Right.
me selfish? Does that make me a narcissist? Does that make me? Yes, of course.
And so you're like, well, I've got to take them into consideration. I had a conversation with a client yesterday. She's like, I don't like it when these people on this call do this, this, and this. And I'm like, why? Well, because other people think, and I was like, whose job is it to think about other people? Not yours.
Not yours.
Not yours. This is not yours.
Hmm.
We control three things in this life: our thoughts, our actions, and our time. Our thoughts, our actions, and our time. That is it. So I always get it's just really interesting how much of other people's opinions we take. Now, if you have an expert, if you have a coach, like please, please, please don't take what I'm saying as don't listen to the experts. Like they've done it before. I
Yeah.
guess one of the best things I ever learned was, learn from someone else's mistakes. You don't actually have to make them all.
Yes. Yeah.
But we're sitting down and we're making these decisions, and our identity is attached. We're getting frustrated. What will other people think of me? Then we make the decision, and we can never change our minds. Apparently, we're writing this thing in stone.
Mm-hmm.
We're writing it in so much stone, we have to stick to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's a lot of health issues, the body keeps score kind of thing,
Yeah.
that revolve around this specific type of dichotomous decision making. If it's
Yeah.
not one, it's the other.
Mm-hmm.
So when we make these decisions like this, and then new information comes along, and we're like, oh, yes, oh, no, no, can't do that.
Yeah.
Mm-mm,
Yeah.
mm-mm.
Okay, I want to just touch on this before we like jump into this idea of making a useful decision is decision fatigue, because this is
Mhm.
something I feel like you're you've got some real expertise around this, you've got some thoughts around it. Tell us a little bit about decision fatigue and how this shows up and what's like anything you want to share about decision fatigue, because
Sure.
I feel like we could have done the whole episode just about it, but I want
Right.
to make sure that people walk away with some structure around trusting themselves to make a useful decision.
Mhm. Well, and decision fatigue is the act of making so many decisions, you just can't make another decision.
Mm,
What I love and how I love to explain it to people is when your partner or somebody asks you, what's for dinner?
mm.
I don't know.
Why is
And
it my decision? That's always
it's
my
not because
question.
they don't know. It's not
Mm,
because they don't know. It's because it's just one more decision.
hmm.
Just one more decision. By the way, side note, super trick. You assign food to the answer. I don't know equals hamburgers. Not sure, what do you want? Pizza. Like you just literally assign food to the response and you just go with it.
Uh,
Just FYI, because that seems to be the most argued about thing. Like you see it in all the reels, people making fun of their spouses because they don't know what they want for dinner. Like just assign food to it. It's fine. Like we all know our favorite things.
yeah.
Just, it's fine. You'll be okay.
Wait, I have to ask some questions about this because I love this so much. Like it gave me chills when you said this. Okay, so when you assign the food to the answer, have you had this discussion with your partner so they know that if they give that answer that that's the food you're assigning,
I mean,
or is
it's
this just
written
something
on the
you keep to
wall.
yourself? Oh, okay. I love this. I'm so on board with this. This is happening in my home.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. I
So,
mean, yes, you have the discussion because we all eat the same things. Like me specifically, I have a
yeah.
specific diet regardless because of my autoimmune disease. So it actually was a self-preservation mechanism at first
Uh-huh.
because I'm learning a new way to eat for my body. And so I'm like, I don't really know because I didn't know. It wasn't that I couldn't make another decision, but that's how it started is okay. This we're just going to assign. So I'm a huge fan of process. There's process all throughout my house. The pickles go here. Like anyone can put stuff away, anyone can find things. And so this just was another step to simplifying
Yeah.
the amount of decisions that we make a day, right? Because the dinner decision, the clothes decision,
Hmm.
all of these different things make up those 30 to 60,000, as you say, the 30 to 60,000. I usually say 36,000. I don't know where I read that, but who
Well,
cares?
I'm trusting you. You're the expert. So so what she's referring, because we weren't recording when we said that, the average adult makes 36, did you say 36?
Mhm.
36,000 decisions a day. A
a,
day.
a day.
A
And-
day.
but it multiplies. So if you have children, multiply that by another 36,000 because you're making decisions for them. Because Lord knows, depending on their age, they can never make decisions. And if you have a spouse, same thing.
Yeah.
If you have teams at work, same thing. So you're creating this perpetual like decision fatigue. It's like that snowball, right? The snowball starts really small at the top of the hill and it just rolls down and gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you just live in this life of freeze. I cannot make a decision. So, decision fatigue and an ineffective way of making decisions is really what's stalling a lot of folks from moving forward. So it's multifaceted. It's not just like Danielle's going to tell you how to make useful decisions, and then all of a sudden it's going to happen.
Right.
Like the decision fatigue is part of the reason why we choose this good, bad, right, wrong, pro, con dichotomous decision, because
Mm.
it seems easy.
Seems easy.
Seems easy.
Yeah. But really, there's a lot underneath the surface there. This is the iceberg, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for sharing. I got so many things. I feel like I could end the episode, but I'm not going to because there's so much more I want to talk to you about. So many good things in here. Danielle, oh, I'm so glad you're here to talk to us. Okay, so let's dive into this topic of trusting yourself to make a useful decision. You said you love process, you like having, structure to things. So my first question for you around trusting yourself to make a useful decision. If I was going to step into your shoes for the day, I got to be Danielle, lucky me, especially after I get to have this conversation with you. You're so freaking smart. So if I get to step in for you for the day, what do I have to think? How do I have to behave? Like, what's going on for me when I'm in this place of trusting myself to make a useful decision? What's my
Mm.
process?
So Danielle would
Yeah,
create
yeah.
this. So I've created systems for my entire life. So on Sundays, you can laugh. I lay out my clothes for every single day.
I love it.
My shoes, my socks, my jewelry, because that's one less decision I actually have to make.
Mm-hmm.
So I batch make a lot of decisions so that my daily life is not spent making decisions, making the decisions that are common. I also spend time meal prepping food so that all the food decisions are completely made. I even look to see how many times I'm going to be out at a networking event or if I'm going to dinner with somebody, and then I adjust food accordingly.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is batch done. Usually Sunday is my honorary, nobody gets to see me and hang out with me because we're
Mm-hmm.
prepping the week.
Making some
And then
decisions.
I'm sorry?
I said making some decisions.
Yes, a
Yes.
lot of them.
Yeah.
And the rule is I can't change my mind.
Mm.
So if I pick an outfit that by Wednesday I don't like, you can't change it.
Still
Just
going with it.
just go with it. No, nobody's like, what are you wearing? That has
Well, you wouldn't
actually
have picked
happened
it.
one time.
Okay.
Just that's
Pretty good.
So
Pretty
I
good.
did
Well
actually add
done.
a jacket today because like it's a little colder outside.
Mm-hmm.
So the jacket got added because I didn't expect the cold front.
Okay.
But so lots of batch decisions being made. And then on the daily, it's really just sifting through the routine, picking up all the things that I need. Oh, I also calendar on Sundays. So all my meetings and everything are set. So there's no decisions of any of that unless somebody cancels or moves. But I also add on Sunday when I do my calendar, I add no more meetings for that week ever. Doesn't matter if there's a free Thursday. If you call me up and you're like, I want to see you. Be like, all right, how's next Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Next Monday? So I have built systems in my life to protect my ability to make decisions.
Okay.
Batch making decisions, food, clothes,
Yeah.
calendar, all of that. So during the day, the decisions are minimal. The decisions are, going, oh, I want a drink of water. Because I think people don't realize that that actually is a decision.
It is a decision. Yeah.
And that's where we get the 36,000
Mm-hmm.
or more
Right.
decisions.
Yep.
So,
So trusting yourself to make a useful decision, one of your big processes here is that you batch the kind of the everyday decisions. And thank you for sharing in particular and giving us specifics of these decisions that you're batching. What are you wearing for the week? This thing about your calendar and like you want to see me, that has to go into next week because this week's calendar is set. Also, very powerful and will help minimize, like you said, like, because didn't just set, like the calendar, but you set the outfits, you set the meal planning. So all those things will impact if you change it, it changes all these other decisions that you already
Mhm.
made. So I love this so much. Okay.
Well, and it reduces stress
Mm-hmm.
so that I'm never waking up. If I wake up late, no big deal. Food, clothes, everything's done.
It's already done.
Like my makeup literally fits right here in this little tiny bag. It's not tiny, it's actually quite big, but it's not strewn all over my counter at home.
Right.
This little bag is all of the makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And since I didn't get it on this morning, obviously, because I have my makeup bag next to me, um, I can do it at my desk 10
Yeah.
minutes before we get on. We're
Yeah.
being very transparent here. You've gotten Danielle very
I
transparent. These
love
are not
this.
secrets I usually share.
Well, lucky us that we get the inside behind the scenes with Danielle. This is fascinating to me. So when it comes to this idea of you've got some decision that you need to make around something, let's say it's a big thing, it feels big to you. What are your goals with this idea of I've got to show up from this place of trusting myself to make a useful decision?
What are my goals? To honor myself and my vision. So every decision that I make has to honor myself and then the vision of what I am working to create. I think so many people will put other people first.
Mhm.
So I always like to say we will give up on ourselves every day and twice on Sunday.
Mhm.
And this is one of the reasons why I don't schedule new meetings in that same week. There are varying, like if a client cancels and needs to move a day, I have margin for that. But
Mhm.
the first space people will fill is the space that you decided to work for yourself,
Yeah.
work on your business. That's the first place you're going to fill. And then you're not working on your business. So I refuse to do that. So every decision I make honors myself and the vision of the life that I am creating. And then,
Mhm.
therefore, the vision of the life I'm helping my clients create because it's all one.
Yeah.
So those are going to be my goals is to honor myself and in the vision that I have.
Love it. Okay. How do you know you're achieving your goals of
Mm.
honoring yourself and your vision?
So sitting down, you're sneaking me into how do I make a useful decision, aren't you? I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Look at that. Um, so I always say no, then justify my yes, even if it's just in my head. I always say no, then justify my yes. So I will always say no in my head. So um, if Faith Ann texts me and says, you should be on Nikki's podcast, I said no
Mm-hmm.
in my head, not out loud to anyone,
Right.
because that's just rude. Not that no is rude, but this process of the knee jerk no
Uh-huh.
is hard for people because
Yeah.
we often knee jerk yes.
Exactly. I love that you're saying this. We often knee jerk yes, but you have trained yourself to knee jerk no.
Mhm.
And then what happens next?
Then I sit down and I'll remove my identity, like, because this decision is just a decision.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's a big decision, so let's define a big decision for the listeners right now. What
Yeah.
big decision do you want Danielle to make?
Uh, let's say that you're going to make a decision about let's say you're going to put out a new offer in your business. Oh, I like that
Ooh,
you like that one.
ooh, I love it. Put out a new
Okay.
offer in your business.
Yeah.
Okay. So, no,
Yeah. Knee jerk no. Good.
no.
Yep.
But I want to be sure it's coming from the knee jerk no, that's a conscious no, and not the negativity bias no. So I have to be very conscious of which no it is.
Okay.
And I can feel it. If it's a negativity bias no, it hits me right in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
My actual high stomach right under the diaphragm. It is not. Okay, that's not a conscious, I'm making the decision for me no. That's a negatively biased no. So I have to switch it. Okay.
Can
Conscious
I,
no.
just for the listener, I want to step
Mhm,
in here. So, this idea of you have already identified how this shows up in your body, whether it's a conscious no or it's a biased, I'm not saying the full term right, but the biased no. Like, if it's showing up in this spot for you, it
mhm,
could be different for someone else. But so identifying that is going to be important
mhm,
in order to trust yourself to make a useful decision. You're going to want to know when you are making these, like, how is this showing up in your body? This is very, like, we're getting into my NLP stuff that I love so much, because it does, like, you will feel things in certain parts of your body that you won't in other, like, in other contexts. So you have identified for yourself
mhm,
that when it shows up, I'm going to say in your gut, like, that feels like
mhm,
gut to me. So I'm identifying that. But for you, under your diaphragm, that is a biased no.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Sorry. Keep going.
No, you're great. It's great because it's really good to know because the common places I have heard is throat,
Mm-hmm.
chest,
Mm-hmm.
stomach,
Yeah.
and like sometimes actual heart.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'll feel it in their actual heart.
Mm-hmm.
So I've heard all of those areas.
Yeah.
So I sit down, conscious no. Then I have to remove my identity because you know what? It isn't about me. If I'm making a new offer, it's not about me. It's about what I'm offering to the world. Like the
Mm-hmm.
world needs this. Do they need this? Or is it just my ego saying they need this?
Yeah.
So I got to separate my identity from the success and or failure
Mm-hmm.
of the offer. And this is where a lot of people trip up. They're like, but it's my business.
Mm-hmm.
It's my offer. It's feeding my family. How am I supposed to separate myself? Well, you just do.
Mm-hmm.
Because as
Have
long as
to.
it's about you, it's
Yep.
never about the other person.
That's right.
It's like when I speak in front of people, the audience is my main concern.
Mm-hmm.
It is not, however, my audience. It's the audience. So even just the
So grateful you're
languaging,
making this. Yes. These distinctions.
so the languaging of my offer, my business,
Mm-hmm.
that's how we separate our identity
Yeah.
is we remove it.
Yeah, this idea of attachment to things is it's can be difficult, and when you start to catch your language around it. I remember learning in NLP this idea of people talking about my pain instead of the pain that I'm feeling, right? And when you start attaching, like, then it becomes an identity, the my. So I love that you're saying this and thinking about it from a business perspective too, that it isn't my offer. It's the offer.
Mhm,
It's not my audience, it's the audience. It's not my client, it's the client. And so you can let go of some of this attachment.
mhm. Or even if you use the royal we,
Mhm.
our client, if you create that,
Mhm.
you know, royalness around it as well, that also helps remove some of the attachment.
Mhm.
But also, too, I give myself time to make that decision because even though in my brain I have made it 7 minutes, it's not
Mhm.
this part of my brain. It's not the prefrontal cortex part that's made the decision. It's way back here somewhere that we've got to kick it forward and give me the information.
Okay.
Because the prefrontal cortex decision making is your rational thought process, all of that fun stuff. She's usually last to the party.
Sometimes is she even at the party?
It,
That's
it
my question.
depends. It depends on if we're scrolling Facebook or not.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes if we scroll Facebook long enough, she's not even awake.
Yeah. Good point. Okay. All right.
So we're removing our identity. And then it's instead of a good, and we have to come from, sorry, back up, a non-frustrated space, which means we have to have the time. So if we're going to make a new offer and we're going to create our offer and we're going to put it out to the market today in the next 2 hours, you've created your own stress around a timeline that doesn't give you the time to remove your identity to make the decision. It
Mm,
isn't useful because you've created a very hard timeline for yourself,
mm-hmm.
which is a strategy that some of us use for inaction, but that may
Yeah.
be another whole
Another
conversation.
podcast. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. Love this.
Strategies we create to sabotage ourselves is amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So we've got to come from yes, of course, time bound. We talk about all the goal setting and all the fancy words and all the things that we've all heard. And if we Google it, we know the SMART goals. And like, okay, guys, come on. We're making this way too damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
We're just really making it hard. So we want to come from a non frustrated place. We want to remove our identity. And then the question we want to ask is it useful? Is it not useful? And we want to envision the future. This is why kind of sitting down and really thinking is important. Because what would the future look like if we did do this specific offer?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe this offer, or maybe
Mm-hmm.
that offer, or maybe this, or maybe that.
Mm-hmm.
And you envision, is it useful or is it not useful? Because one of the things that we know in business, if you've been in any longer than 2 days, you know what's going to happen. Number one, most business owners are adults. We have experience knowing if X happens, if we do X, then Y happens. We know that. This is not new. If we if we design something that someone else has already done in a saturated market, that might not be very useful.
Mm-hmm.
If we're presenting the same idea in a new way, that might be useful. So it's really going to depend on what it is and looking for it. So is it useful? Envisioning your future. Does this offer fit in with my goals, my
Mm-hmm.
honoring myself in my vision?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're envisioning what it would look like. If it ends up taking too much of my time, then maybe I need to redesign the offer. If the original thought process is time bound to me, well, that's not scalable. Let's try again. I want to meet and talk to everybody ever is never going to work, right? We can't
Right.
have 15-minute phone calls with every single person.
That's right.
So, I mean, I guess we could, but then we'd make no money.
Yes.
And I'd like to eat,
Yes. And feed your family.
even when I don't know what I want to eat.
That's right. But you know you're going to want to eat
Yes,
there.
at some point.
Okay. All right.
So envisioning the future, is it useful? Is it not useful? And it may not just be the offer, it may be envisioning what the whole process looks like from onboarding people into the offer, from execution of the offer to follow up to the offer to upsell of the next offer to like we're literally going around my head. I know that the listeners that are just on audio can't see this, but I've literally like traced an entire circle around
Mhm.
my head because when we're making decisions, looking forward and envisioning it to make sure that it's useful is envisioning the whole process. Now, do you need to know the details? Absolutely not. It can be high level. It can be big chunk, big picture. It can be, all right, well, if I do this and this will happen and this will happen and this will happen and this will happen.
Mhm.
Is it useful? Is it not useful? And then the best part, the best part. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. I'm on the edge of my seat. Give it to me.
Allow yourself to make a different decision with new information.
Woo! Yes.
Allow. Because really, the problem with quote unquote changing our minds is we are not allowing ourselves to make a different decision with new information. Allow yourself to make a new decision with different information.
Mhm.
Notice I didn't say a good decision, a bad decision. I said a new
Yeah.
decision.
Yeah.
Allow yourself. So if you decide, yes, this offer, or Danielle decides, right, in this hypothetical, this offer is the one that's useful.
Mm-hmm.
When we dive in and we realize, oh, oops, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
The new decision might need to pivot and shift. The new decision may not be to throw it away.
Yeah.
The new decision may be to pivot to shift. Actually, I have this an amazing story. I was actually asked to create a process once. And it was a great thing. Somebody asked me to create, and I'm good at processes. I'm good.
It's your
And
thing.
so I'm like, yeah, 52 hours
Oh,
into
geez.
generating this, I realized something. It wasn't mine. It
Oh,
it wasn't mine.
that
It
makes
it
my teeth hurt. Like,
it didn't
oh my gosh.
it didn't serve my future. It didn't serve my vision.
Mhm.
It wasn't mine.
Wasn't yours.
And I didn't know this decision making, useful, not useful process back then. So I
Mm-hmm.
spent 52 hours developing something that was really close to being done,
Mm-hmm.
that wasn't mine. So I gave it away. And someone else took it and they're very successful with it.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Well, again, because we're talking about trusting yourself to make useful decisions, just even, okay, so you've broken down some process that has been so phenomenal here. This idea of, thinking about what's the goal for you, it's to honor yourself and your vision. And in order to achieve that goal, you've got to remove your identity first and foremost. Then you have to make a decision from a non frustrated place. I think that was a really important step. And then asking the two questions: is it useful? Is it not useful? And then really envisioning it, the full process for yourself. And then, based on the information that comes back, allowing yourself to make a new decision when you have new information.
Mhm.
Love it. Is there anything we
Mhm.
haven't addressed with the?
Well, I think in the useful, not useful part, this is where the research can come in. Like we
Mm-hmm.
don't want to go so like far into the research that we would go crazy. But I mean, you would want to, like I said in this example, research, is this a common topic in a saturated market? Is
Mm-hmm.
this a new idea in an unsaturated market? Whatever your coaches or accountability champions or whomever people are working with, whatever they say, right? Whatever that looks like. But this is where your research would come in, because a lot of my computer people, the people that are like, I got to run the numbers 8 ways from Sunday. Um, I'm one of those. That's how I can call it out. And they want to have all the information. They want to have all the research. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is where you get it. You're not removing that piece, but you can envision the future without the details, believe it or not. You can. But
Mm-hmm.
if you must have it, this is that point that you would do that, but you want to be sure that you don't circle the drain
Mm-hmm.
as if we're writing the 10 Commandments. Like,
Yeah.
understand, we can change these easily.
Love it. Love it. All right. Any last thing before we kind of wrap up this thing around trusting yourself to make a useful decision? You've given us so much great structure here. Anything you haven't said that you're like, oh, we need to talk about this?
So, I love asking other people's opinions
Mm-hmm.
personally, and I know a lot of people that do.
Mm-hmm.
But really, when it comes to making useful, not useful decisions in your life and business,
Mm-hmm.
you know, your girlfriends shouldn't, they shouldn't matter. So what they say is it really has to be about you. And I think we get so lost in the ask the audience portion, we can get too much information that also stalls our decision making capability.
Mm-hmm.
So it stacks on to decision fatigue. We've got decision fatigue that's normal. We've got perpetual decision fatigue if we've got multiple people that we're responsible for. And then we're asking the audience, and then we're creating more information on top of information, and we're just stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking. And then this is also one of the root causes of the frustration is we get so many different mouthpieces and so many
Hmm.
different opinions, which I'm sure they're wonderful. I'm sure they're good.
Yeah.
But creating an opportunity where you can make your own decisions with, of course, the people closest to you. If you have a spouse or a partner, like don't say that Danielle told you not to take their opinion into consideration. Like, don't do that. Um, I've even had people ask their children, like a really big decision. I'm like, folks,
Yeah.
they don't even have a fully functioning brain. I probably shouldn't do that.
I feel like we need to call back to your that those two questions. Is it useful? Is it not useful? On who you're going to ask,
Mm-hmm,
right? Like, because not always is it useful to
mm-hmm,
get the whole audience involved.
mm-hmm. And I think that that is more impairing of your credibility and your integrity
Hmm.
when you ask a whole bunch of people and then you do what honors you and your vision in the first place, but it looks, because we've got this dichotomous,
Hmm.
societal thing, it looks like you didn't care what they had to say.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
So there's just so many different layers to that.
Yeah.
So I would just watch how many people you're asking and what is their buy-in to the decision,
Hmm.
and really just making it about you, your family, and the vision that you have for your future. And honestly, every I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not a emergency room pharmacist. I am not an ambulance driver, ambulance person. I'm an EMT. No one's gonna die from any of my decisions. And I think that might be the other thing we need to know
Yeah.
about useful, not useful.
Yeah.
Likely no one will die. Likely. As
Love
long
it.
as you're not, a first
Yeah.
responder,
Yeah.
doctor,
Yeah.
things like that.
That's probably they're not listening to this
I
podcast.
mean,
I'd be
maybe, maybe not.
surprised. Be surprised if they were. So, thank you so much. This has been so incredible. And there's so much in here to unpack. I suspect I'm going to have to go back and listen to this podcast again, but I have so many things spiraling around in my head right now of the things that you've said of like, yes, yes, yes. I want to say like amen to some of these things that you've said. They were so powerful. Thank you. As we wrap up today, I always like to ask a few little questions about you so the audience can get to know you in kind of in a different context. So one of the questions I love to ask people is what is something that's bringing you joy right now?
Hmm. Spending time watching documentaries with a friend.
I love that.
Like
Any good
scheduling it on the calendar. We
yeah,
call it docu-dork time.
love. Any good docs that you recommend off the top of your head? No pressure
Well,
too.
we've gotten to some weird ones.
Okay.
So maybe not.
Okay. I just watched the documentary on the making of the We Are the World.
Oh yeah, it's so
It's
good.
so good.
It's so good.
I was like smiling and like, oh, I just
Hmm.
loved it. It was total joy for me on Sunday to watch that doc. Okay. What is something exciting going on in your business right now that you'd be willing to share with us?
Mm. So, I mean, there's always exciting things because one of the things I love about being a consultant is that I get new stuff every day
Mm-hmm.
and it fills my cup. But I definitely think the hypnosis for habit replacement has been really fun lately. So people who want to stop smoking or stop drinking Dr. Pepper or, stop procrastinating or,
Mm-hmm.
just like the habits that we have, that has just been so fun, so enjoyable, and just so fulfilling for everyone. And I think that if no one's ever told anybody this, we attract the things that we need to work on in ourselves in all areas of business and life. So it's really fun that I get to work on some of my stuff too.
Yeah.
Some of
Yeah.
our friends that I help with the habit recreation, the habit replacement in hypnosis has just been so much fun.
I love that. I'm a big fan of hypnosis for the kind of work that you're doing. I think it's so powerful. All right. What's a good way for someone to connect with you?
So I have a special gift for you guys today. And so it's called the gift of time blocking. I know, right? And
I
so
love time
it's on my
blocking.
website. I think I gave Nikki the link. It'll be in the
You
show
did.
notes because otherwise I have to spell it you because my parents decided to name me something with a weird spelling. So here we are. Danielle's not weird, but Bailey is. And so I always find it awkward when people are like, so, and then I have to spell it them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
I
check the
will
gift.
put in the yeah, I will put it in the show notes so you can get her the gift of time blocking. I recommend that you go get it. I recommend you check out her website. It's got some really fantastic content on there. Just go and look at Danielle, and I'm just going to spell her last name. It's spelled Baily, Bailey. So Danielle Baily, you can find her website pretty easily from there. So it's daniellebaily.com. And then we'll put the link in the show notes for you to get the gift that she's given us. Danielle, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for your expertise, for the stories that you shared. I found this conversation incredibly insightful and helpful, and just I'm really grateful to Faith Ann for making this connection and encouraging, for you to get past the knee jerk no and get the yes and come on and share with us today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for being brave enough to have me.
I love it. Okay, and for you, the listener, as always, what was your big takeaway from today's podcast? What is something you're going to implement or do, or what was your aha from this? Please reach out to me and or Danielle and share. What was your big takeaway? I'd love to hear from you. Please share this episode with somebody who think would benefit from it. Now, not in a way of like, hey, you really need some help with this, but like, hey, would you be interested in an episode on how to trust yourself to make useful decisions? That's a nice way to share it. So, all right, wishing you continued success. Thanks for being here. As always, have a great rest of your day.